Good morning. This is Alexis Parker sitting in with Giovanni Gallucci, and this is the Daily Trend Report.
Morning, Alexis. Coffee landed yet?
2 cups in, Ruby's already walked, and the desert's hot before 8. I'm ready.
Good. 2 on the table today.
Clean label food and beverage first, then content, social, and AI. Let's go. So the one Kendall flagged this morning, I couldn't scroll past it. Fiber. People are calling it fiber maxing, eating it on camera, and the trade just crowned it the next protein. Pinterest searches up about 115% in 90 days.
Yeah, and the word that ought to make a small operator sit up is next, because we've already watched the protein version of this movie, and we know how it ends.
How does it end?
Big Food takes a junk product, dumps in one isolated additive, prints a giant number on the front, and calls it health. Inulin in a candy bar, resistant starch in a soda, same move they ran on protein.
And that move just landed somebody in court, didn't it?
It did. Danone sued Chobani over how it counts protein per serving. The number became a weapon, then a lawsuit, then a trust problem for the whole shelf. Fiber standing in that exact same line.
So if I'm a little clean label brand, this wave looks like a gift and a trap at the same time.
That's right. The gift is the one thing a giant structurally can't say, which is, this is just real food. A conglomerate has to engineer fiber back into something it spent 30 years stripping it out of. You started with beans, oats, chicory, cabbage, and you never took it out. Only one of those stories survives somebody flipping the package over.
And the shopper's watching the dollar right now, too. Grocery inflation's near a 3-year high.
Which actually helps the honest brand. A squeezed shopper isn't buying 10 splurges, they're buying 1 or 2 they trust completely. Cabbage and beans are cheap and clean at the same time, and cheap and clean is a trust signal right now.
But that story doesn't tell itself. Where does it actually live?
In the feed, not on the front panel. A badge that says added fiber is a claim anybody can buy. A weekly recipe where you cook the real thing on camera is a thing a media budget can't fake. Recipe content beats product content every time here because people cook along and the curds and the beans sell themselves.
And if you do name fiber on the pack, name the source, not the additive.
Right. Oats and chickpea and chicory root on the front, not a clinical, good source of fiber sticker. Provenance beats fortification, because provenance is the part the giant can't copy at scale.
The recipe series feels like it's doing more than selling a jar, though.
It is, and that's the real point. A view is somebody renting your reach for 2 seconds. A recipe people actually make is you building an audience you own. One pulls a sale, the other pulls a regular. The regular is the whole business.
You're watching it work right now with cottage cheese, aren't you?
That's the cleanest example on the shelf. Cottage cheese was a boomer fridge item, and the hashtags passed 1 billion views because people turn it into queso, baked chips, cookie dough, all on camera. Nobody's running a cottage cheese ad. The recipe is the ad. Fiber plays the exact same way if you let the food do the talking.
Is there a line you don't cross with the health angle?
Don't sell it as a cure. Fiber's good for you, fine, but the second you make a medical promise, you've handed the cynics a target and the regulators a reason. Sell the bowl, sell the ritual, let the food be the proof. Honesty about what it does and doesn't do, that's the part they can't undercut you on.
And there's a channel angle here too, isn't there?
There is, and it favors the little guy. Food sales on TikTok Shop more than doubled year over year, and the brands winning aren't the giants. Their creator-launched independents building real velocity before a single retail buyer says yes. That's a place where a founder's face and a clear origin beat a media budget. While Big Food's busy catching up to your ingredient panel, go own the channel where trust is the currency.
And if you've actually won something, there's the medal angle.
Right, a blind tasting award, a good food award. That's the most credible thing a tiny brand can stamp on a label, because no ad budget buys it. If you won one, that's not a press release, that's your whole summer content arc. Film the tasting, film the reaction, show the people who made it. All right, 3 things you can do with this before we move on. 1. Build a named recipe series, give it a number, post the 5-minute version. The bean bowl, the cabbage thing, the overnight oats. People come back for, quote, part 7. They scroll right past another post.
2. Film the back of your pack right next to a competitor's 20-ingredient label and say nothing. Let the comment section do the math for you.
3. Put your real serving size and real grams on slide 2 of the carousel. When the fiber claim cynicism shows up, and it will, you're already the brand people trust on the number. This next one's the story I'd move on today. Clark put it at the top of his report. Eddie had it too. Unilever just put 50,000 creators to work for the World Cup. 35 brands, 120 markets.
50,000. That number writes its own headline.
It does, and the headline's the wrong thing to read. There aren't 50,000 celebrities on Earth. You can't buy 50,000 celebrities. What the biggest advertiser on the planet actually bought is an army of small accounts. The folks with 5,000 or 50,000 followers who know their corner and whose people still believe them.
So the famous faces pitch side are...
The garnish. The meal is the working creator nobody's writing a headline about. And here's why that matters for everybody who isn't Unilever. The giant just conceded, out loud, that one big budget loses to a roster of real humans.
That flips the leverage to the people who used to be the cheap seats.
That's exactly what it does. If Unilever needs 50,000 of them, the value of one believed small creator went up, not down. And the structure's copyable even when the budget never will be. They're not betting the World Cup on one influencer who might have a bad week. They spread it across thousands of small, honest placements. A regional brand runs that same play at 1/1000th the scale.
Why does the giant need that many humans in the first place?
Because the audience can smell the alternative. Same week this ran, Reddit launched a whole campaign on the line, "People are the best." Straight anti-slop positioning. The market's paying a premium for a real person making real things, precisely because the feed's gone synthetic. That premium is the opening. And for once, it isn't the conglomerate holding it.
If the premium is on real humans, who actually goes on camera for a small brand?
The people who already are real. The founder, the line cook, the grower, the regular who's been coming in for years. Not polished B-roll, not a hired spokesperson. For a one-person shop, not having a glossy studio is the advantage right now, not the handicap.
And the trap there's staging it.
That's the whole trap. The same audience that's hungry for something real will smell a staged version in half a second and punish you harder than if you'd done nothing. You don't perform real. You point the camera at the actual work and get out of the way.
Does this change what a brand posts day to day, not just who they hire?
It moves the center of gravity. Less studio, more people. A founder talking straight to camera about why the thing exists will out-travel a perfectly lit product shot every time this year. The feed's drowning in competent, forgettable, machine-made sameness. A real face with a real opinion is the scarce thing now. Lead with that.
So it's not a one and done. It's a relationship.
It's a quarter, not a post. You find the people who already talk about your category, you treat them like partners, and you let them work in their own voice over time. 10 honest creators who actually use your product will outpull one rented mega account, and they'll do it at a price that doesn't need a corporate sign-off.
What does treat them like partners actually look like on a Monday?
You message them like a human, not a brief. You offer something real, product, money, access, a true collaboration, and then you let them make it their way. The second you hand a believed creator a script, you've turned them back into a billboard, and the audience can hear the difference.
So the move isn't go big.
The move is go close. Be the one local, specific voice the flood can't manufacture. Unilever needed 50,000 to relearn that. You need 10. Here's what to actually do with all of that. 1. Make a list of 10 creators who already talk about your category and are believed. Not the biggest 10, the most trusted 10. Then reach out like a person, not a procurement department.
2. When one of them makes something for you, don't sand it into a brand ad. Reshare it in their voice. Polished reads as paid, and paid reads as skip.
3. Watch which ones pull comments and DMs, not just views. Keep the people who start conversations. That's the roster that compounds. One more thing before we go. The recipe series, the creator roster, the content that actually sounds like a person, that's the work I do. GallucciNet builds the content stack for small operators. Short-form video, carousels, the articles, the whole thing. in your voice, not a template. If you want a feed people come back to, I can build it with you. Find me at gallucci.net or DM at gallucci.net on Instagram or LinkedIn. Talk tomorrow.